there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking more about the Armon Wiggins versus Funky Dineva versus Claudia Jordan versus Al Reynolds, the epic response, the epic rant that Armon Wiggins went on with Claudia Jordan coming in. As you guys know, I'm going to do a part 2 because this is messy. This is messy, and there was a lot to unpack, you guys. First off, Armon said that he was sick of the people saying that it was his fault that the show got canceled, and basically exposed that HR was supposed to investigate the roast situation and all of the other complaints that was taking place behind the scenes, and that the person dropped the ball and ultimately the show got canceled. And essentially said that not everybody was on their job, was not on their Zoom to make the show success, and confirmed, in fact, and alleges that it is Al Reynolds that was trying to, put everybody against each other. At one point was trying to, work with Claudia to gang up with her against Armon Wiggins and try to get him fired. And, Al Reynolds was trying to be buddy-buddy with Armon when he thought that, Funky Dineva gave him the tea on Claudia, and that they can then team up against Claudia and try to get Claudia fired. And Al was texting and contacting Armon about how they can go to HR, how Al has all this power, basically, and can go and try to get Claudia fired and all these things. Was messy, and other text messages about different segments on the show, saying Claudia wants to pick and choose when she wants to defend black women and be pro-black women, and also made some comments about her ABUSC. Like it is just messy all the way around, you guys. Everybody has been messy. Everyone has been two-faced. Everybody's been talking about each other behind each other's back, and I don't understand. This show. It's maximum 5 hours a week that you guys are on camera, that you guys are on Zoom, that you guys are on Microsoft Teams, that you guys are on WebEx meetings. Why is it all this chaos? Why can't you guys log out and not say anything, right? But all this stuff that's taking place behind the scenes and everybody trying to cozy up to certain people and upper management, it's lame. So, like I said, Armon had a full meltdown, you guys. He started crying. He was so upset. Basically said that he's going to prove Funky Dineva right about, him being a disappointment and him needing to mature and grow up. But he said, while I'm going to be on my immature petty steez, I'm also going to expose you too. And basically expose that Funky Dineva has a lot more tea than what he's letting on, knows a lot more than what he is letting on, and can be all cute and professional in this interview with Carlos King, but basically everything you're getting fed is getting fed from Al's perspective and Al's point of view, and you do not have all of the facts and all of the sides of what is taking place. Armon also said people need to stop saying he blew a $250K bag. Basically said that essentially he was only making $70K, which about for 6 months, if they would have renewed his contract, or even if it would have stayed the same contract for the rest of the year, would have made out to be $140,000, right? But ultimately, still, Armon had to take out, had to go exempt because, again, he wasn't seeing the money. And so, nonetheless, he felt like he had to do this, he had to do YouTube. But I thought with his YouTube, remember that there were some videos that gone missing? That kind of disappeared. So I don't know if he privated the videos or deleted them altogether. So I wasn't sure if that was like a Fox Soul thing. Armon also said that there was no opportunities for him to elevate while he was on this show. He thought, he was going to be promised red carpet events and all these things. And he found out basically that he had to pay if he wanted to be at any red carpet event. So all of that stuff that Al Reynolds was doing, at the red carpet, he paid for that himself. No. Your company is supposed to sponsor you for these events like they do Entertainment Tonight and Extra and E and all of these other networks, whether it's award shows or movie premieres or whatever, or festivals. You're telling me you have to pay for your own red carpet experience and you're supposed to be the media talent? Oh, no. So, nonetheless, Armon is saying that he is tired, he is sick of people throwing him under the bus, so now he's going to throw everyone else under the bus, right? And basically, again, said that everybody everybody was against each other, everyone was being messy against each other, but for some reason they only care when it's him. And I already alluded to Claudia calling in, but also I wanted to add when Claudia also called in, because she, like I said, she was at the Universal Circus doing a voter registration thing and only heard a portion of Armon's live, said that as far as the not getting insurance claims that Funky Dineva was saying, was basically saying that if you are registered with the SAG-AFTRA, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but nonetheless, for those of you that are in, the entertainment business, that are doing acting, if you are registered with them, there is a minimum requirement of a salary that you have to make that makes you eligible for health insurance. And so basically what Claudia was saying was that she already had separate health insurance anyways while she was at Foxhole, but since that's ended, she was able to apply for something through the SAG-AFTRA because she also still does acting on the side, and was able to obtain health insurance. Now, she said it wasn't that good, but you could still obtain health insurance, and she said she wasn't aware if Funky Dineva knew that information or if even Al Reynolds knew that information. But Claudia Jordan basically said that she has been having health insurance, and those are the steps if that is such a concern or an issue or what have you. But essentially, they were being paid as independent contractors is what it sounds like, and would have had to be responsible on their own for their own insurance and all of the things. But you guys, this is a mess. This is a mess. And apparently Funky Dineva, as you guys know, he does these lives now. He did not want any smoke in the chat. He did not want any smoke in the chat. Everybody was asking him to respond to Armon and the claims that Armon was making and all the things. And Funky Dineva, you guys, wanted no parts of this. But you know what has to happen now? Like I said in the previous video, Al Reynolds needs to come out and speak. Whether it's an interview with Carlos King or an interview with himself or talking to something, he needs to come out and speak, because this nonsense of having, the one friend speak on your behalf to certain YouTubers and then having Funky Dineva speak on your behalf isn't going to cut it when Armon and Claudia Jordan are consistently saying you are fake and you are two-faced and you are the one behind the scenes causing all of this chaos and discord, and even Armon taking a step further, showing text messages that you were trying to collude and trying to get rid of Claudia Jordan off of the show. And my thing is, you did all this tomfoolery allegedly. You had all of these ins with management and all these people, these executives behind the scenes, and you thought you had the power to get Claudia Jordan fired or Armon Wiggins fired, but instead, all of your theatrics ends up getting everyone fired. Now there's no show. So you're talking about a direction you want to take the show. If Claudia Jordan's not there, only that for the show not to exist, period, right? For them to say, you know what, thanks, but no thanks. There's too much drama with this show. F the investigation is basically what happened, you guys. They basically said, F the investigation, you guys are too uncouth, you guys are too out of pocket, you guys are being way too messy on social media instead of being professionals, and we don't need to continue this. We do not need to continue this tomfoolery, right? But it is just such a shame, you guys. It is such a shame, because even if Armon was not making the $250K, I'm sure that in the event that the viewership had went up at some point, that they definitely could have negotiated something to give him a higher pay. But it didn't help matters that Funky Dineva, who admitted himself that he purposefully was being messy by going live at the same time because he wanted to sabotage the show. Because he felt insulted because of $250 less per episode, that he wanted to be petty himself and go live the same time as them. And then he made that big fuss about having to return the microphone and the equipment, which is normal when you no longer work for a company and they issue you an equipment, they issue you a laptop, microphone, whatever is needed, headsets and chargers and all the things. That is protocol. You have to send that stuff back or they're going to charge you for it. So I have no idea why there was that outburst. And then also the other thing with Funky Dineva is he's making it seem like everything's all cute and mute with Claudia Jordan, but he called her the bleep word on his platform immediately after he, announced his departure from Fox Soul. And got caught up with some of his fans in the chat being messy and misconstruing things that Claudia Jordan said about Funky Dineva. And then out of nowhere, Funky Dineva goes off on her. But we saw the real Al Reynolds, like I said, when he had, when he was upset on that call with Funky Dineva. That's who he is. He calls Funky Dineva every single day to complain about the show. And complain that how he has to deal with Claudia Jordan because they're no longer cool. They're no longer friends. But all of you guys were messy. And if Funky Dineva just owned that and said, you know what? There still was issues going on, but you wanted to pin it all on Claudia Jordan, right? And make it seem that, Armon is so immature. Well, make it make sense. If the same issues were there and happening while you were there on the show, how is it Armon's fault, right? That's just a symptom of the disease. That is just, a factor that is a part of a bigger problem, of a bigger issue, and that is everything from top to bottom was not on point at Fox Soul. And remember when Fox Soul started, when they were trying to get the black audience and the black demographics? Remember they had a full schedule all day of new programming and all of these shows that you can tune into all day and have the replays on YouTube and all of the things? What happened to all those shows, you guys? Make it make sense. All of it disappeared. Where did it go? Where did the budget go? And where does Fox Soul go from here, right? Because you currently do not have a show that is discussing celebrity news and gossip, reality TV, and trending topics right now to rival The Breakfast Club, to rival Dish Nation. You now have left that void open again, right? And so Funky Dineva, I believe, is alluding to he's going to be doing some type of syndicated late night talk show in the fall. So we'll see what comes of that and what all of that entails. But what do you think of Armon? Armon said, listen, he said he is not effing with anybody, whether you are a YouTuber or not. He doesn't care for anybody that has any criticism of him, and he is sick of Funky Dineva because he feels as though Funky Dineva had all of the tea and basically got on Carlos King's interview and lied, right? But like I said, everyone has been messy in one way or the other in this situation. I just don't understand all this caping for Al Reynolds all of a sudden, right? I don't understand why all of a sudden nobody can, tell the truth about Al Reynolds. Everybody at one point or the other has been messy. And even Armon said in the video that even when Claudia admitted that she was being messy and talking smack about Armon, that basically once they had the phone call and hashed everything out, they realized that Al Reynolds was the common denominator and that Al Reynolds was trying to pin them against each other and basically try to force one of them to be out of the show. And it's just so petty. It is so petty and it's so unnecessary. So did you think Al Reynolds allegedly, if this is true, that if you either got rid of Claudia Jordan or you got rid of Armon Wiggins, that you were going to be the star of the show? That they were going to build the show around you? No. Like it's the delusions for me, right? It's the audacity for me, right? But nonetheless, I just can't get over fumbling $250K. I cannot get over it. If you really made $250K, Al, and you were doing all this stuff behind the scenes, and even Armon showed a portion of receipts of the tweets that you were trying to do to try to get rid of Claudia Jordan, and how you just couldn't stand her and she was getting on your nerves, and she, you know, all of these things. Why? If it's that bad, why are you still on the show? If you can't function. But no, you can function enough to pretend to play in everybody's face and code switch when the time is right and put on your corporate hat and your lawyer hat when the cameras start rolling. Meanwhile, you're texting the messiest things ever and the most inappropriate and below the belt things ever about your coworkers for why? And then you're pillow talking Funky Dineva after the show tapes. Why? And Funky Dineva is acting like he has no idea. Carlos King, who's BFFs with Funky Dineva, is acting like they have no clue what the behind-the-scenes tea is when they know that it is, right? Now listen, you don't have to expose your sources or whatever. That's your prerogative. But don't sit in there and play in people's face. This is your story too in the event that you were a part of this show. And you were a part of everything until it fell apart with the last 6 months. But nonetheless, don't lie to the people. And I know people are going to go in on Armon because they're going to be like, Armon, you know, you're proving the people right, that you burn bridges, that you're unprofessional, that you're a disappointment, that you don't think. And so my question now is, what's next? Where do we go from here? Is Carlos King now going to get an interview with Armon for Armon to tell his side? Or is Carlos King going to get an interview now, an exclusive with Funky Dineva's friend, Al Reynolds? But again, it's just so much that's being said. It's so much drama. And you would think that they would, be like, man, we should probably put the show back on the air if TGIF is just causing all this conversation in the algorithm, right? Because literally this back and forth between Funky Dineva and Armon has everybody talking about it, has everybody doing content on it. And Fox Soul, you fumbled. You absolutely fumbled. Where did the budget go for the show, right? But it also, remember when Claudia had also, I believe I had posted it in a previous video. Remember Claudia was saying in the chat that she even tried to call Al Reynolds, one last time, like the night before, to try to resolve it, to try to get everything right, because she knew that he had access and was going behind the scenes and talking to all these people to try to get the show basically thrown out of there. And nonetheless, he ignored her. He ignored her and continued on his way. But that was the other thing, as far as it goes, it's like Armon basically listed everybody that he was cool with, whether it was, on the show or behind the scenes with production, all except for it sounded like maybe one or two people he just wasn't fooling with when it was all said and done. But Armon wanted to make it a point that him and Claudia are cool now and that he finds her genuine, and that, him and her, like I said, he said that they've interacted prior to him even being on Fox Soul, that they used to be in each other's messages. She would either be in his comments on some of his videos or in his chats. And then he said he reached out to her a few times regarding some advice and everything about the business. And so nonetheless, they were cool until the obvious divide attempt took place. And then once they had the conversation to compare notes, they realized that Al Reynolds was doing the most behind the scenes, you guys. But we have to see where this goes from here. We have to see where this goes from here, because it's just not a good look. And if Al does not come out to respond anytime soon, it's not going to be a good look for him either, right? Because we need to get to the bottom as to why he is so messy and why nobody is clocking it, right? And this isn't to excuse, the behavior of anybody else affiliated with the show, because there's blame to go around. Everyone has been messy, everyone has been unprofessional, and the weirdness that's taking place with production and their entitlement issues, it is a whole nother level. It is a whole nother conversation in itself, to where they're demanding and holding up, the episodes and everything else because they want a certain pay. No. That should have been negotiated either before you signed on to do the filming of the show or afterwards, and seeing the success of the show and everything. But in the middle of filming, you're going to pull this? No, right? But nonetheless, that's essentially it. Like I said, Armon had a breakdown, had tears, and it got to a point where he was just so upset because he wanted to really clear his name. But this is the same person that made it a point to say in his first episode, came for specific YouTubers and told them basically to kiss his bleep. That basically they wanted to see him fail, and he wanted to let the people know that he was on and popping. Except for fast forward now, and there's no show to pop one right now, right? But nonetheless, it was cute while it lasted, you guys. It was cute while it lasted, but I knew long term that ultimately this was not going to be, what people thinks it is, right? But that is pretty much it. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.